Welcome, by Billy Bones. Segment 8, and what Segment 8 really is just setting up Segment 9. Doing a couple plot things, we're moving some things around our inventory, doing some alchemy stuff now that we have the pot, and what we're really getting to is the setup, the Wisher's Peak out of bounds, and the early liquid metal slime grinding that's going to be Segment 9. So first thing that happens, we're running here, we're grabbing some things. I'm going to grab the leather kilt, I'm going to grab the Chimera wing, we're going to do some shopping. Things we're going to buy. We're going to buy the pointy hat for Yangus, that way Yangus has a better helmet, he's got some better defense. Also we can use it for alchemy later on, where we get the pointy hat and the stone axe together. Also buying some scale shields. What I'm using the scale shields for, first of all, I can use them for some defense. Jessica's going to need more defense, that way she has a better chance of sustaining attacks from liquid metal slimes, and I'm going to use it for alchemy. So I'm going to put the scale shield and Jessica's whip together in the alchemy pot, and that gets to something that has a lot of gold. I'm buying a lot of Chimera wings. We don't have Angelo yet, so we're going to need a number of wings to get around. Once we get Angelo unlocked, we can just use his zoom spell all the time. If we have some extra wings, we can mix them and hats together to get some nice items. Now, we're talking to this guy, getting the iron nail. Once we have the iron nail, we're going to pop in the alchemy pot right now and put it together with the bronze knife. That way we can have the Thieves' Key. Now you want to make sure that you do alchemy before you leave this room. If you walk outside and you haven't started alchemizing anything, Trode will give you a little cutscene where he runs down and says, by the way, there's an alchemy pod, you should be using it. So anytime you're playing this game and speedrunning it, you want to make sure before you leave this room, you get into the alchemy pod, because otherwise there's a little cutscene here with Trode. We have a number of alchemies available to us. We just did the Thieves' Key, that way we can get into chests, we can get back here, we can get the gold and the boomerang. Then once we get out here, we're going to be moving things around in the inventory. Things are going to move around in the inventory. First of all, one of our goals, we want Jessica to have as much defense as possible. Right now, she's our weak link. She only has 41 hit points. She doesn't have very good gear. She doesn't have very good defense. She's only level 9. Everybody else is level 11. She is the one who's going to get chewed up by slimes the most. So when we do liquid metal slimes, they are a higher level than we are. And they can do a lot of damage to Jessica. So even if she's defending every turn, she can get chewed up by those liquid metal slimes. So I want to make sure she has as much defense as possible. That's why she equipped that scale shield earlier, and why she's now getting the dancer's costume that we picked up in Baccarat and the garter for that defense. Then we're taking the nice, wonderful saber cat, and we're taking it over to Myella Abbey. Now, this is actually the fastest way to get to Myella Abbey. The road sort of meanders, so it's faster to just sort of cut this corner here. Now we have one encounter, we're going to flee from it and take off. Another option would have been to farm metal slimes and farm enough metal slimes until you don't have any encounters. The problem with that though, the enemies here are fairly high level. It takes a lot of grinding of metal slimes before you are high enough level to when you don't get any encounters. And even though we have the zoom right in the Royal Hunting Ground where those metal slimes spawn all the time, it just takes so long to grind out 9 metal slime kills in order to get to that higher level where you have no encounters. Also, because now we're starting into the level where each metal slime kill will get us 1 level, not the 2-3 levels like it was before. So instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to set up an out of bounds, and then in the next segment we're just going to go straight to the liquid metal slimes and grind those. So there's no encounters between Myella Abbey and Simpleton on the Saber Cat. So we're just taking the Saber Cat over here, advancing the plot a little bit, and then we have these zooms so we can pick it up later on after we've done a little liquid metal slime grinding. So going to Simpleton here. Once we're in Simpleton, we're just going to trigger these cutscenes. One thing to note, because we gave Jessica the dancer's costume, and I didn't even realize this till all of a sudden the cutscene started, the dancer's costume is one of the costumes that changes her appearance. So in this cutscene, she's wearing a different outfit. And in the game, there's no way to legitimately have Jessica wearing this outfit during this cutscene, only by either cheating or by using that skip that we did at the beginning. So this is, for a lot of people, I'm sure, unless you went in and actually used some cheat device to get the equipment so you could see all the outfits and all the cutscenes, which I totally wouldn't put past you guys. And frankly, I'll be surprised if by Monday there isn't a video of just Jessica in her outfits in all the various cutscenes. 400,000. The first time you've ever seen Jessica in this cutscene wearing the dancer's costume. Because as per the game, she should just be in either her regular costume or the Jessica clothes from the beginning. So yeah, one of the first times doing the segment, got this cutscene, I was like, wait, what's going on? Oh, that's right, changes the, okay. So after this cutscene is done, there's a little cutscene out back, where Angel's going to take you out back and talk to you for a little bit. You want to get through that dialogue, there's a transition, then Yangus comes out, there's a little more dialogue, and then you're free to take off. The Angelo cutscenes that are remaining, after this we would have to go back to Myella Abbey, do a couple more cutscenes there, then it's over to the Ruined Abbey, and then it's back to Myella Abbey for the final cutscenes, and then Angelo's unlocked. So once we've done this one, the only things left, short cutscene of Myella Abbey, and then over at the Ruined Abbey. And once we have the Ruined Abbey going, we're going to be going for that Tortured Soul skip, so we don't have to even fight the Tortured Soul. But segment after this is going to be the one where we do some liquid metal slime grinding, we get a lot of levels quickly. Because it was possible to just do regular metal slime grinding over the Royal Hunting Ground and farm enough metal slimes so that you don't get any encounters, but the problem is you have to do, I believe, 8 or 9 metal slimes to get to a high enough level that you don't have any encounters through the Ruined Abbey. So it's a lot easier to just take out some liquid metal slimes, because each liquid metal slime is worth 8 metal slimes.
We're going.
So we're advancing the plot a little bit, and we're going to set up the next area, which is the Out of Bounds. So right now, the RTA is pulling time on us a little bit. We do have a shorter trip to Mila Abbey and to Simpleton, but then we get that little detour to get the Riverside Chapel zone. So about a wash for the RTA. And all we're doing right now is we're trying to get the zoom for the Riverside Church. Once we have the zoom for that church down by the river, that's right next to the Witcher's Peak Out of Bounds, so we can just have our next segment straight from that church, get the Witcher's Peak Out of Bounds, do some liquid metal slime grinding, and they're back in the plot. Once you have Angelo unlocked, if you were to then sleep at the Riverside Chapel, there's actually an extra cutscene that gets triggered. So if you're speedrunning, be sure you never sleep there. If you're trying to get every cutscene in the game, be sure after you have Angelo unlocked, you then sleep at that Riverside Chapel. And we're going to have a lot of encounters going through here, but it is still faster to take the boat rather than the Saber Cat. Reasons for that, we're not quite yet at a high enough level where we can take the Saber Cat with no encounters down Riverside Chapel, and it's a long run. So I timed it out, and it is faster to take the boat. And the reason why we're not putting the holy water back on, the enemies in this area are such a high level it wouldn't matter. The way the holy water works, it doesn't just reduce your encounter rate, instead it checks your level versus the level of other enemies, and if their gang is a high enough level, you're getting an encounter no matter what. And all the enemies taking the boat here are at a high enough level that they're higher than our level, all these gangs. And it's going to be a while to our high enough level to get no boat encounters. Once we are at a high enough level to get no boat encounters, we can do a lot more boat exploration. But it's going to take quite a while before we get to that higher level. Going to have to unlock Angelo, do some more liquid metal slime farming with Angelo, and then we'll be at the high enough level. So the shortest way here, you depart here at this ridge, then take the Saber Cat down a little bit, and then you're right there at the Riverside Chapel. And it seems super long, but trust me, it is shorter than taking the Saber Cat from Simpleton down to the chapel. It's a really long walk. So pretty short segment to put together. All I had to do was make sure I got good enough flee luck, because there are a number of encounters, and I want to make sure you flee from all of them just to save time. Now RTA, I wouldn't even start the liquid metal slime grinding until I'd unlock Angelo, so I would do everything as normal, grab Angelo, and then I would do the liquid metal slime grinding. But because for us, we can luck manipulate, we can get first encounter, liquid metal slimes, we can make sure we have perfect flee luck, makes sense to do this first. And all the time we're spending right now to get that zoom is time we would have already spent. And what we're gaining from this is we would get no encounters all the way through the Ruined Abbey. So, we got a ding, and because of that ding, alchemy pot's ready. So now we want to make sure we start cooking something else. We now have the Thief's Key. Thief's Key is going to let us open up a lot of chests. Now sadly we're not going to go into Trodan at all, so we're never going to get the magic key. So we're only going to be able to get about half of the things in chests once we are in Argonia, once we are in Baccarat. Luckily though, half the things still are controlled by the Thief's Key. So we do get some stuff by having the Thief's Key. There's a number of cool things, we'll see them when we get to the Argonia section, that we can get just with the Thief's Key, even though we don't have the even better key we get from Trodan. And then we started cooking the Snakeskin Whip, that's the Scale Shield, and Jessica's Whip. It's a handy whip, it's a powerful item to have. Once you go to Riverside Chapel, we're just here to get the zoom, the Riverside Chapel. We don't care about anything else, we're just grabbing the zoom here. The Snakeskin Whip, handy item to have. One reason, when we get to the Argon Lizard fight, chances are we will not have Magic Burst yet, because we're probably not going to grind that far. So we can still use Twin Dragon Lash for a bit of it, instead of having to go all the way Magic Burst, which requires a fairly high level. And Twin Dragon Lash is a very powerful attack for Jessica. Also, we can sell that whip for a lot of gold. So now that we have the Thief's Key, we can unlock these chests here, we can get the boomerang, we can get a big pile of gold. Both are things that we will be able to use later on. Because for now we're getting to the point that we totally need gold. So one of my goals now buy some good stuff in Argonia, alchemize it into even better stuff. Then when we're done grabbing those chests, we're just going to save up here. Final time for the segment, 1 hour, 48 minutes. Thank you for watching.